Jake Paul fighting against Andre August. Now, I want your thoughts on Jake Paul as a boxer first.
He's done well for himself. He knows how to promote himself. He knows how to make money. I don't like the fact he's saying he's gonna a couple of years' time he'll be beating Canelo. I don't like that.
Not a fan.
But you can't hate him for what he's done.
You can't hate him.
And like the commitment he's given to the sport and actually putting a shift in.
In my opinion, I did not like the guy, but I think he's his most likable self as a boxer, and most people would disagree with that because everyone tunes in to watch him lose, and that's why he's so good.
Yeah.
That's why he's so good. For example, like, for me first getting into boxing when I watched Wilder, all I wanted was a Fury win, so much so that you just want Wilder to lose. Whereas now, I really like Wilder because that made me actually care about the fight. Having a villain makes the fight grow.
Yeah.
So I think people hate on him. I quite like him as a fighter. Not as a world champion, but I like what he's done for the sport because he's brought me into the sport, these kind of fights. It brings most people in. I think you can't knock it. Looking at Andre August here, he's 35. I imagine people have something to say about that. He's had 12 fights, 10 wins, 5 by knockout, 1 loss, knocked out. And I think he was knocked out by someone who was 3-3, and he is now 7-60.
Yeah, he's got a terrible record, yeah.
Questionable. And 1 draw. I don't know what happened in the draw. To me, from what I'm seeing, the event's small. It's not sold out, and I don't think Jake Paul cares about that. We watched his vlog thing last night. You can just see it's just training, and you have to respect that. Like a guy who could make millions from just putting his name out there, he's going with the smaller event. Like if Jake Paul fought, it sounds even if he had a Tyron Woodley trilogy, I reckon he sells tickets.
Yeah.
So if the fight's something that no one's ever heard of, I can't sit here and question the numbers that he's pulling in because he's doing that for a reason. If Jake Paul wants a big fight, he fights KSI.
Yeah.
Simple. So
there's plenty of MMA fighters that he can go and ask for a fight and it'll make big money.
Conor McGregor versus Jake Paul. Huge. And I think he's going down a pro boxer's route, isn't he?
He is. He's committing himself to the game.
Look at all these top fighters' first fights.
Yeah, you've got to respect him.
We can't
on that front, but he does have a very good team around him, and they've picked this guy for a reason.
Yeah,
because he's got the pro record, the positive record, but he's not going to do anything.
No, I think if I was a betting man, I would put it on a Jake Paul knockout.
It'll be 8 rounds. I think
it goes similar to the Tyron Woodley fight, in my opinion. I know nothing about Andre August, but when I watch Jake Paul in a fight compared to when I watch his training footage, he's a different guy. I don't know if the moment gets to him, if the footage is manipulated to make him look like a pro boxer. He looks different in his actual fights. So I think maybe he comes in and Andre August has boxed his whole life. He had a 4-year layoff, I saw, but at the end of the day, the guy knows how to box. So I think Jake Paul and Tyron Woodley, especially his second, Woodley was beating him.
Yeah, second one was not very
good. He was outboxing him, and then he started to get a bit tired, hands drop, boom, knockout of the year. I think you could see this happening again. I think August will come in, probably underestimate Jake Paul, you see it time and time again. These guys, they underestimate the YouTubers, even Tommy Fury against KSI. Whatever you think the win was, Tommy didn't want the fight to go that way. Tommy couldn't get his jab out. I think these YouTubers are better than what the pro boxers expect. So I think my prediction will be a Jake Paul 5th round knockout. I've got some questions for you now. Opponents Jake Paul could fight. Okay, we've got 5. Now I have a clear winner, but you hear people asking it. Deji in a rematch. Deji thinks he'd win.
Jake Paul
win. I agree. Next, we're going to go with Nate Diaz in an MMA fight. I'm not an MMA guy.
Just trying.
Yeah?
Yes.
Yeah?
Yes.
Okay. KSI.
Again, I do. I don't know after KSI Tommy Fury, but it's so hard to predict the way someone's going to fight against KSI because he's such an unorthodox, weird style. It's you can't predict how someone's going to perform against that.
No.
I can see that KSI split decision win.
I agree. In my opinion, when I watched Jake Paul against Tommy, I think Jake got overwhelmed by Tommy's style. And if you're going to get overwhelmed by someone, it's because I was watching the fight back, KSI versus Tommy, and like I don't box, but I'm watching KSI run at Tommy. In the moment, like it's easy to say, oh, just throw your jab, boom, clean left, he's out. But like in that moment, he's so sharp. So if it ever happens, I'll be honest, I'd lead more to a KSI split decision.
Before the Tommy Fury fight, there was literally no footage of KSI in that sort of stance.
Exactly.
But now there's Jake Paul would have a full 6-round fight versus Tommy Fury to train.
True. I don't know. I think it goes either way. I can see why people would predict Jake Paul. Tommy Fury rematch, I think Tommy.
Yeah, I think Tommy as well.
And Vidal Riley. I know. Well, it's been mentioned.
Vidal would get it done within 2 rounds.
2 rounds?
Yeah.
Okay. So that's our predictions. KSI kills speed. Jake Paul, knockout of the year, it's Andre August. And then just to finish it off, we're going to go back to football.